The coffee cups shattered against the marble floor of North End Cafe, sending ceramic shards dancing across the hardwood. Marcus Sullivan looked up from the espresso machine, steady despite the chaos. The girl responsible couldn't have been older than 10, her school uniform crisp and expensive, standing beside the wreckage with corporate composure. Marcus had been working double shifts for 3 years, ever since David's medical bills drained their savings. The North End Cafe wasn't glamorous, but the regulars had become family. Maria, the elderly Italian woman who slipped Tyler origami cranes, James and Roberto, holding hands over their shared blueberry muffin after 15 years together. If you're listening to this story and feeling drawn into something bigger, hit that subscribe button for heart stories. We're just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens when worlds collide. The woman at table 7 was unmistakably Lauren Kingsley. Though she looked nothing like the confident CEO from Forbes covers, her daughter radiated different power entirely. The calculating gaze of someone who'd learned chaos was the fastest route to control. Marcus approached with calm confidence from years as a social worker before David's illness forced him into survival mode. That was quite impressive. You manage maximum noise with minimum effort. Very efficient. The child's eyes narrowed. Are you making fun of me? Marcus crouched to her level. Actually, I was wondering if you could teach my son Tyler some techniques. He's 6 and hasn't figured out how to get my attention when frustrated. He usually just draws angry pictures. Genuine surprise flickered across her face. You have a son, Tyler Sullivan, age 6, aspiring artist and master of superhero drawings featuring 2 dads. Marcus replied, pulling out his wallet. A photo fell Marcus and a handsome man with kind eyes, both wearing pride shirts, with a laughing toddler between them. The cafe's atmosphere shifted. James and Roberto looked over with warm recognition, while Maria began preparing Tyler's favorite hot chocolate. This was what made North End Cafe special. Love came in all configurations. Your husband, Lauren asked quietly. Was? Marcus corrected gently. David passed away last year, pancreatic cancer. Tyler still talks to him every night before bed. We've learned that love doesn't end just because someone is gone. The girl, listening intently, suddenly looked smaller, more vulnerable. My dad died too, she whispered. Marcus felt the familiar social worker instinct. This wasn't about coffee cups. This was about grief wearing the mask of defiance. I'm sorry for your loss. Losing a parent changes everything. Doesn't it? Makes the whole world feel unstable. Lauren Kingsley stared at this man who understood in 30 seconds what expensive therapists had missed in months. Her daughter wasn't broken or spoiled. She was simply a child trying to make sense of a world that had stopped making sense the day her father died. As Marcus returned to prepare fresh drinks, he couldn't shake the feeling that something significant had begun. Tyler's after-school program would end in an hour, and they'd walk home to their small Somerville apartment, where photos of David still lined the mantelpiece and love lived on in memory. But first, he would serve coffee to a billionaire and her daughter, and maybe offer them something no amount of money could buy: understanding. Sometimes the most important conversations happen not in boardrooms or therapy offices, but in spaces between strangers who recognize their own pain reflected in another's eyes. And sometimes, healing begins with someone saying, I understand, and actually meaning it. The elevator in Lauren Kingsley's Back Bay building moved smoothly to the 27th floor, opening into a penthouse designed to intimidate rather than welcome. Marcus noticed immediately what was missing: any evidence that real people lived here. No family photos, no children's artwork, no comfortable chaos of daily life. Lauren sat behind an expensive desk, looking smaller in this space. Before she could speak, heels clicked against marble as Evelyn Mercer entered with old money confidence. Her perfectly styled hair and understated jewelry speaking volumes about social hierarchy. Lauren, surely we can find someone more suitable, Evelyn said pleasantly. Someone with proper credentials who understands the particular needs of children from our social circle. Marcus recognized the coded language. What particular needs would those be? Mrs. Mercer. Appropriate role modeling, family values, traditional structure. She paused meaningfully. Chloe's trust fund requires careful stewardship of her character development. We must consider what influences we're introducing. The message was clear: a gay man raising a child alone didn't fit their definition of appropriate influence. Marcus pulled out his phone, showing Tyler's artwork, three figures holding hands under a rainbow, labeled "My Family" in shaky handwriting. Tyler drew this for his grief counseling session at Boston Children's Hospital. Marcus said calmly. The counselor said it showed remarkable emotional intelligence. He understands that families are built on care and commitment, not just biology or traditional expectations. Lauren studied the drawing hungrily. How does he process the loss? How do you help him understand something so incomprehensible? We talk about Papa David every day. We cook his favorite recipes, listen to his music, visit his grave at Mount Auburn Cemetery, and tell him about school and friends. Tyler knows that death ends a life, not a relationship. And the lifestyle concerns, Evelyn interjected carefully. The potential confusion about family structure. Marcus laughed genuinely. Mrs. Mercer. Tyler attends Cambridge Community Center's after-school program. His classmates include kids with single moms, divorced dads, grandparent guardians, foster families, and yes, same-sex parents. The only confusion he experiences is wondering why some adults think love is something to be ashamed of. Lauren leaned forward. What would you need to make this work? Marcus had spent the subway ride thinking about this. First, Tyler needs understanding. He'd be included in some activities with Chloe because isolation helps no one heal. Second, you commit to family therapy at Boston Children's Hospital. Third, Mrs. Mercer's involvement becomes advisory only, not supervisory. Evelyn's facade cracked. I hardly think you're in a position to make demands. I'm identifying conditions necessary for success. Chloe needs authentic relationships, not performed ones. Tyler needs stability, not drama. And you, he looked at Lauren, need to learn how to be present with your daughter's pain instead of managing it from a distance. $500,000 annually, Lauren said finally, plus full tuition coverage for graduate studies at Harvard or MIT, Tyler's education covered, housing assistance if needed. Marcus felt his breath catch. Life-changing money. There's something else, Lauren continued vulnerably. Chloe's father was a pianist. Jonathan studied at New England Conservatory. He and David knew each other from Boston's arts community. Jonathan played David's second nocturne at our wedding. Most beautiful piece I've ever heard. The world tilted. David's music had touched Jonathan's heart, and now their widowed partners were being drawn together by their children's needs. This wasn't just employment. This was connection across time and loss. The mysterious ways that love weaves lives together. When do I start? Marcus arrived Monday carrying David's worn messenger bag and peasant-grade coffee. The penthouse felt sterile, all expensive furniture arranged for aesthetics rather than comfort. Chloe emerged in perfect Cambridge prep uniform, assessing him with soldier-like precision. You're here every day now. Monday through Friday, 3:30 until 7. Tyler gets out at 5:30, so I'll bring him here if that's okay. Something flickered at Tyler's mention. The 6-year-old who draws superheroes. Marcus showed Tyler's latest creation. He's been asking about you, wants to know if you're okay. He asks about random strangers. He asks about people who seem sane. It's his superpower. What's yours? The question caught her off guard. I don't have superpowers. I'm not 6. Everyone has something they're uniquely good at. Something that comes naturally, even when other things feel impossible. Chloe considered this seriously. I'm good at systems, computers, programs, networks. I understand how things connect and how to make them do what I want. Show me. She led him to a transformed library, multiple monitors displaying code, network diagrams, security feeds. I coded my own surveillance system. The building's regular security is basic. but mine captures everything and uploads to a private cloud server. I can track patterns, identify threats, monitor communications. Marcus studied the impressive but concerning setup. This is university-level programming. But why do you need to monitor everything? Her fingers moved across keyboards with unconscious fluency. Because adults lie. They say they'll stay, then leave. They say they care, then disappear. This way I know what's really happening. Marcus recognized the trauma response. A child's attempt to create predictability in an unreliable world. When did you start building this? After the funeral. I wanted to know why everyone had quiet conversations that stopped when I came in. Her expression became vulnerable. Turns out Aunt Evelyn thinks I'm why Mom won't date. That therapists talk about me like a problem to solve rather than a person to understand. Because you're terrified, Marcus said gently. Because losing your dad taught you that people you love can disappear without warning. And now you're trying to control everything so it never happens again. Tyler's arrival interrupted, purple paint, smudged and curious. Is this the castle? Where's the coffee cup girl? Chloe appeared, suddenly shy. Tyler beamed. Hi, I'm Tyler Sullivan. I made this today. He showed a watercolor 3 figures around a piano. It's me and Dad and Papa David making music. Papa David lives in the music now. You paint your dad, who died. All the time. Love doesn't end just because someone goes away. We still talk to Papa David and cook his favorite foods. Tyler studied her intently. Do you talk to your dad? I used to, but everyone said to move on. That's silly. Papa David isn't the past. He's everywhere. Tyler began humming David's composition, filling the sterile space with warmth. My dad played piano too, Chloe whispered. Want to show me? Dad says music is like hugs made of sound. For the first time, Chloe smiled without calculation. There's a piano upstairs, but it's been locked since Dad died. Then we should unlock it. Papa David's songs are supposed to be played, not hidden. Something shifted in the air. This was about 2 children who understood loss and the healing that happens when grief meets acceptance rather than fear. The Steinway grand piano sat like a sleeping giant in Jonathan's former study. Marcus found Chloe teaching Tyler a simplified Chopin nocturne, the same piece David had transcribed for children. Papa David used to play this, Tyler said, concentrating on finding the right keys. He said it was painting with sound, but I never knew what color. Dark blue, Chloe replied. Like the ocean at night when you can't tell where water ends and sky begins. Marcus remembered David playing this piece weeks before his diagnosis. The memory felt more like connection than loss. How long since you've really played for joy? Marcus asked. Since Dad got sick and everything became about hospitals and whispering about treatments that weren't working. Tyler turned with characteristic directness. Do you miss playing? I miss everything. Hearing Dad practice in the mornings, him humming while working, the silly songs he'd make up about whatever I was doing. Papa David did that too, Tyler exclaimed, and they began sharing musical memories, building something new from loss. The breakthrough came during homework 3 days later. Chloe suddenly stopped and looked up with impossible intensity. I need to tell you about the day Dad died. We had a fight that morning. He wanted to take me sailing, but I was upset about something stupid. I told him I hated him and never wanted to go anywhere with him ever again. Marcus felt his chest tighten. What did he say? He laughed, said he loved me even when I hated him, that he'd be back to prove sailing was more fun than sulking. Tears flowed freely. But there was a storm, and the last thing I ever said was that I hated him. Tyler took her hand with absolute conviction. That's not really the last thing. Papa David told me the last thing isn't words, it's feelings. Your dad's last feeling was love, because he laughed. He knew you didn't mean it. How can you be so sure? Because that's what love is, Tyler said with matter-of-fact certainty. It's knowing that mean words are just scared feelings wearing angry clothes. That evening, Lauren arrived with news. I've been attending grief counseling. Doctor, Martinez helped me understand I didn't lock Jonathan's room to protect Chloe from painful memories. I locked it to protect myself. By avoiding my own pain, I taught Chloe that grief should be hidden rather than experienced. Over following weeks, the penthouse transformed. Lauren joined music sessions, sharing Jonathan's stories. The change in Chloe was remarkable: less compulsive surveillance, better sleep, allowing herself full emotional spectrum. Most powerful was Thursday evening, 4 of them attempting Jonathan's composition. They were terrible, missing cues and laughing at incompetence, but the music was joyful and alive. And Marcus realized this was healing sound, not absence of pain, but connection strong enough to hold both sorrow and hope. True healing doesn't require forgetting losses, but finding safe spaces to honor what's gone while remaining open to continuing love and beauty. Tuesday morning started normally until Marcus arrived to find Lauren waiting with a cold expression. "We need to talk. Evelyn has raised concerns about financial irregularities." "What irregularities?" "Unauthorized expenditures for Tyler, purchases that appear personal. There's been a private investigator documenting your activities." Lauren's voice was controlled but pained. "Evelyn filed a CPS complaint questioning Tyler's living situation, claiming your lifestyle creates instability." Marcus felt the world tilt. Even unfounded allegations could mean Tyler in foster care during investigation. "She's threatening Chloe's trust fund too. Claiming employing you shows poor judgment affecting Chloe's interests. The board is concerned about publicity implications." Marcus understood the calculation. Evelyn was systematically dismantling everything that threatened her control over family dynamics and financial resources. "I'll resign," when he said, swallowing glass. Before Lauren could respond, footsteps echoed. Chloe burst in with Tyler, both carrying laptops and wearing determined fury. "Don't you dare quit," Chloe said sharply. "Aunt Evelyn made a mistake. She forgot I'm not just some kid with computers." Tyler nodded vigorously. "We found the truth." Chloe's screen filled with devastating evidence recordings of Evelyn coaching the investigator, emails discussing creating financial irregularities, a recorded call with CPS about framing welfare concerns. She planted false receipts but didn't know I maintain independent backups. Every legitimate expense is documented with timestamp verification. Tyler tugged Marcus's sleeve. "Show them my video." His tablet contained dinner conversation footage capturing their loving, stable relationship. "I wanted to show Miss Jennifer at school, but Chloe said grown-ups needed to see it too. Sometimes they forget love makes families work, not rules and money." Truth asserted itself efficiently. Legal teams reviewed evidence. Attorneys connected through LGBTQ+ networks. Private investigators provided statements about Evelyn's misconduct. 3 days later, Lauren made an announcement. "I'm establishing the Jonathan Kingsley Foundation for LGBTQ+ youth aging out of foster care, children's grief counseling, music therapy throughout New England. David's compositions will be published as music therapy curriculum. Marcus, will you serve as Director of Family Services? Your social work background, combined with your lived experience as a single LGBTQ+ parent, makes you uniquely qualified." 6 months later, Marcus stood in Harvard Square Foundation offices watching families arrive for support workshops. Tyler had adapted to new school with typical resilience, making friends who invited him to paint murals and spread optimistic wisdom. Chloe redirected tech skills toward database management and family connection apps. Lauren discovered business success paled beside meaningful healing work. Evening's concert filled the music room with voices honoring loved ones across time and loss. Marcus thought about David composing music meant to heal broken hearts. After families departed, they sat around the piano practicing a piece combining Jonathan's and David's compositions. 4 hands and voices blending imperfectly but beautifully. "Papa David would like this," Tyler announced. "He said best music happens when people love each other enough to sound terrible together." The foundation's first scholarship recipients included diverse kids from working-class backgrounds, some from Tyler's after-school program. As Marcus watched the next generation receive opportunities he'd never imagined possible, He understood that David's musical legacy lived on through healing rather than just melody. Sometimes the most important victories aren't dramatic headlines, but quiet triumphs, choosing love over fear, inclusion over prejudice, healing over hatred. Creating spaces where different families flourish strengthens community fabric itself. What creates stronger families, shared biology, or shared commitment to love and growth? Have you experienced chosen family transcending traditional definitions? Share your thoughts below and subscribe to Heart Stories for more tales of resilience, acceptance, and how love transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies.